No, that is not Paul Revere. Alrighty, good morning, fellow riders. I hope all is well with you. Welcome back to the channel. Thank you for everyone who has subscribed to my channel. We've grown to a little over 300 subscribers now, which is awesome. And if you haven't subscribed yet, if you like this content, please subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you're aware whenever I put up new content. I'm here in Charlotte, North Carolina this morning, headed to breakfast. Back before I retired, a good friend of mine, a fellow supervisor, Don Shue, and I started having meals together every Saturday that we worked. And we were the 8th shift daytime crews, and then Don started inviting retirees and former employees of Medic here in Charlotte to come eat with us. And we typically, we used to go to breakfast and then sometimes lunch, but it's developed into where the most of the time we go to breakfast now, and we come over here and get together different places in Charlotte, but most of the time Maria's Restaurant, which is where I'm headed to right now. We get together with breakfast, and there are people who are on duty, active employees of Medic, and then some that are former employees of Medic. And we get together and have a time of fellowship and remembrance of our times back in the day working here in Charlotte. Anyways, that's where I'm headed this morning. Beyond that, I really don't have a plan. I guess as a YouTuber, I should have a plan anytime I turn on this camera, but you know what? It's okay to sometimes not plan out activities and just see where the day takes you. I plan events, I plan to go on trips and that kind of thing, and I have in my mind what I want to do, but today I'm just going to kind of wing it. Don't know what I'm going to do. I'll see what comes to my brain, and we'll go from there. But I'm glad you guys are here. I hope you enjoyed today's video, whatever it turns out to be. If you're new to the channel, let me introduce myself. My name is Tim Marshburn, and the channel is Poppa-D Rides. I got the name because my youngest son calls me Poppa-D, and I was looking for something that was unique and that I could put out and hopefully maybe one day brand. So Poppa-D Rides is the name of the channel, and it's about long distance motorcycle touring and all things motorcycle related. I love to ride long distances on the motorcycle and visit different areas of the country. I get enjoyment out of it. It clears my brain. And I was actually messing with Robert Simmons back and forth on the comment section about long distance riding becoming addictive, and he said, don't have to worry about that for him because it's uncomfortable. And I get that. So you know what, you can get out to these remote areas by trailering or shipping your bike, but man, you should get out, ride your motorcycle. They're to be enjoyed, as Wood Jr. says, they're to be enjoyed. And I'm blessed to be able to get out and travel this country and see it on this motorcycle. I'm blessed that it is such therapy for me to get out and ride the bike. And I believe, hey, look at there, there's engine 22 going on a response. We're about a half a mile from their station right now. Anyways, I'm blessed to be able to get out on the bike and ride and see this beautiful country. And I just want to share that with other folks that maybe can't get out. You can see some of the area of the country through the videos that I put up, but when you get the chance, you should try to go to these places yourself. If you can't ride long distance on the motorcycle, I get that. My wife can't, so we've flown out before and enjoyed places. I've been able to get my wife to the Yellowstone National Park and the Tetons, the Black Hills, Mount Rushmore, that area. And the Badlands. Her father went to the Badlands on a hunting trip years ago, and I was able to take her and her sister. We went to the Badlands a couple of years ago and really reminisced about their dad's trip and how he was, overwhelmed with the beauty of that area. And then we went to Yosemite this past year. So, it is for me riding the motorcycle and getting places and seeing things. And then the friends that I've made, the acquaintances that I've made, all because of this motorcycle. just phenomenal. Folks from all walks of life. Just phenomenal to be able to get together with people. And all right, I see a medic vehicle here. There's our mass casualty response vehicle over there, medic 701. And then a couple more of my former co-workers out here. All right, let's go in and get some breakfast. The aroma is strong in you. I was having breakfast here with my buddies. Don's getting ready to go to a cardiac arrest call. He and I sat out here and talked for a good while after breakfast. He's considering retiring here soon. There's Madeline's. My dad used to stop there and get a beer on the way home from the train station up here. All right, guys, I think I figured out what I'm going to do for today's video. I had a great breakfast with my friends, but I believe it's Harley 68 is the guy's name, and I'll double check. But he put a video, like a challenge, on what is your city that you're at famous for, and I believe his was Yorktown. Either way, I'm going to talk about Charlotte. So that's the downtown center city part of Charlotte right in front of me. But one of the things Charlotte is famous for is transportation. It's the big transportation hub. Even to this day, American Airlines, it's a big hub for them, but it's also a big rail hub. And my father worked for Southern Railroad back whenever I was born, and all my life actually he worked there until he retired. It became Norfolk-Southern. But there's a freight yard. When we go to the top of this bridge here, we'll be able to see it. My dad worked in this freight yard as a brakeman and conductor for most of my life. As I became a teenager, he became a conductor on the main line, riding between here and Spencer, North Carolina, on a freight train as a conductor. But prior to that, he worked in this rail yard. It's going to be right up here to our right. And when I was about 5 years old, my mother and father divorced when I was 2. I was about 5 years old. My dad worked in this rail yard. He brought me to work with him, and I rode on the engine all night long. They told me I was driving a train, but I don't think I was. But there's the rail yard right there. And it's also one of the best views of Charlotte. You come up here and you see some really excellent pictures if you wanted to get videos of that and pictures of that. Anyhow, my dad worked right there for years, and like I said, when I was like 6 years old, 5 or 6 years old, he brought me to work with him, and I rode all night long on the train, set up there. I can remember they had these water cups that looked like a funnel. It was like a funnel with, it wasn't open on the end of it, so it was kind of cone shaped, and a little water bottle, water cooler right there on the train. And yeah, I enjoyed that. I sat up on the engineer's lap and blew the horn. He told me I was driving the train. I don't think I really was, but I'll never forget that experience as long as I live. It's just a cool thing to have done as a child. You certainly could not do that today. Can you imagine taking your 6-year-old to work with you on a choo-choo train today? Oh my goodness, would never happen. So while I'm in this area, I have to take you guys up here and show you the NODA area of Charlotte. NODA stands for North Davidson District. So NO for North and DA for Davison. But it's kind of an eclectic area up here that people come to. There's a little restaurant up here called Cabo Fish Taco. That's been on Guys, Diners, Dives, and Drive-Ins. But they took this old mill here and made it apartments and restaurants in there. So this is called the Lofts. Really nice they've done with that. This YMCA here is still open, and it's still a functioning YMCA. And one of the coolest firehouses in Charlotte is right up here on the right. So I'm gonna show you guys that firehouse. And then I'll loop around and we'll go back down toward downtown. And I'll tell you a little bit more about Charlotte. So this is the No-Dot district on both sides. Like I said, really cool place, cool vibe. They have live music down here frequently. It's a good place to come and hang out. Selling some hash right there on the corner. Yeah, Fire Station 7 right here. One of the coolest old firehouses in Charlotte. Single company station. And we'll loop around and head back down toward town here. Right here on the left is Bordeaux's Louisiana Kitchen. Get you some good Cajun food right there. Go back by the firehouse. And the Cabo Fish Tacos right here on the corner to the right. And that's the restaurant that's been on Diners, Dives, and Drive-Ins with Guy Fieri. Lots of memories going through my brain right now of my time working in Charlotte. I'll have to bring you guys over here with me one day for lunch to Brooks Sandwich House. So this is the Brooks Sandwich House right here. The Brooks brothers have ran that, well, for over 30 years now. Great, great hamburgers. It's a cash-only establishment. They even got an ATM out front in case you didn't bring any money. But sadly, right before I retired, Scott Brooks got killed. A guy robbed him there and shot him dead early in the morning. They finally found that guy and convicted him, but sad, sad thing that happened. But his kids and his brother are still running the restaurant. It's a great place to go. Here to the right's the light rail track, but on the other side of that is the intermodal lot. Used to be the intermodal lot for Norfolk Southern, and a long time ago they called that the hole. When they replaced railroad tracks in this area, they take up all the old cross ties and they dump them down in the hole. Right on the other side, really actually right here where these tracks are at, that was part of the hole where this light rail is at. They just piled all these old cross ties in there. Well, when I was 14, 15, 16 years old, my dad, they told him he could have as many of those cross ties as he wanted. So when I came to visit my dad in the summertime, that's how we made money, is we would sell those cross ties for like $8 a piece. So I spent my summers over here throwing cross ties on the back of an old GMC pickup truck, and we'd take them and deliver them to people. So that'll definitely build you up. But all that was right in here where this light rail facility is at now. That was called the hole. And the intermodal lot was right there as well, where Norfolk Southern used to park all the intermodal containers. That operation's moved out by the airport now. That skyline has definitely changed over the years. I haven't been over here in a while, so I'm not sure if the road I want to go across is open or not, but I want to go across here and go to down North Tryon Street. Might even stop at the Starbucks and get me a coffee. We'll see. But I want to take you guys and show you something real quick before I do that. All right, Robert, I'm practicing my slow speed here. I'm gonna have to bring my granddaughter over here and take her on this train. We got a train that comes right by my house and she says, choo-choo, choo-choo. I need to take her on a choo-choo train. Let's see if we have another one coming the other direction here. Well, the real signals are going up. So I'm gonna ride right up here to the top of the hill. So I was telling you a minute ago about my dad bringing me to work with him when I was like 5 years old, right? You can't get in there, so I'm gonna pull right here and show you. They got a gate up. You used to be able to drive up in there, but I'm gonna stop right here. So that that little concrete building there was their office. And this bridge right here in front of me, that's where we would pick up cars and switch them and push them down into the rail yard that way. So this is goes down to 2 or 3 tracks that direction away from the rail yard, and my dad would switch trains. You see the switches up there, and his engineer was Marshall Hunsucker. And I rode with Marshall on the engine all night long across this 16th Street bridge and back up into there. But that was the office that all the paperwork went, and it still says double check your switches to prevent derails. So pretty cool. And this is the North Tryon 16th Street Bridge. And all I can tell you that it's famous for is flooding. Anytime it rains, water will stand, and you can actually see the mural over there. The bottom part of it is black and dark. A lot of that's from where the water goes, because the water will rise up over there probably 3 or sometimes 3.5 feet. That big tower right in front of us is the Bank of America corporate tower. That's Bank of America headquarters inside of that building. And to the left there, the one that looks like an ice cream cone, that is the Hurst Tower. And on this end of the Hurst Tower, there's a lower section that sits out, and that's a stock exchange trading floor. So on September 11th, 2001, when New York was hit, they moved all trading here to Charlotte. So we thought we were going to be a big target for terror attacks here. It was a very stressful time as a first responder when all that was going on, not knowing that if we were going to be next. And at the time, those 2 buildings there they still are, I guess, some of the largest in Charlotte, tallest in Charlotte, but definitely you'd be able to fly a plane into those if you were of a mind to cause some kind of nefarious activity. But the Hurst Tower is now truest that does that. But if you look right over the top here, that big flat all glass wall that's kind of sticking toward us here, if you can see it through the trees there, I can see it. That's a trading floor for the stock exchange. And like I said, it was the second largest trading floor in the world at one time. And I'm not up on whether or not they're still trading here in Charlotte like that. But like I said, for a period of time until Wall Street got back open and running, it was where all the stock market exchange was happening in the United States. The dogwoods are in full bloom, man. Looking so pretty downtown. I'm sorry I said dogwoods. There probably are some dogwoods. These are Bradford pears. So these 4 pillars stand for what Charlotte has always been famous for. You have the future, industry, commerce, and transportation. So not far from Charlotte is Reed's Gold Mine. And back in 1839, they had a big gold discovery there. So the first gold rush in the United States was actually right here in North Carolina. That's why University of Charlotte is called the 49ers, because of the gold rush. It was here. All right, guys, I stopped here by Starbucks. Get me an espresso drink at the Duke Energy Center in Charlotte, and it's probably one of the busiest Starbucks in North Carolina, especially during the week. They send other people here to be trained, and there's a young lady here named Sarah. I used to come here nearly every day when I was working, so I walked in the door, she still knows who I am, still knows my drink, for that matter. I still get the same drink I got back then. But they send people to be here to be trained, and Sarah said that she's probably the only one that's still here, that was here whenever I was working. So it's not busy today, and there's Miss Sarah helping that customer right there. And, yeah, this is my old stomping grounds back whenever I was working. I would come in here, sit down like right here, get me a drink. I set my computer up right here, and I do work. So pretty cool that when I walked in the door, I said, Sarah, and she said, Tim. But like I said, I was here a lot. Anyways, I'll get this drink going here in a minute. We'll get back on a little bit more time before I go home. All right, catch you guys. All right, guys, that's pretty cool. Stop in here at the Starbucks. Really neat that the barista in there, Sarah, remembered me from when I used to come in here all the time. Like I said, I came here nearly every day. Probably the best Starbucks service-wise that I've ever been to. The store's always clean. They're always quick in preparing your drink and always polite. And they are one of the largest volume Starbucks in North Carolina anyway. If not the largest volume Starbucks in North Carolina. So, continuing on what Charlotte is known for, I guess. It is the home of the Carolina Panthers. And right there is the Bank of America Stadium. You can see it's only a block and a half away from where I was just at Starbucks. So, there's Bank of America Stadium. Let's ride up here and see what else Charlotte might be famous for. Alright guys, straight ahead, right up there you can see the top of the building, NASCAR. Home of NASCAR. Charlotte and the Charlotte area is famous for NASCAR. The NASCAR Hall of Fame is right up here on our left. We'll circle it. And then we'll head on over to something else. But the Charlotte Motor Speedway lies about 10 miles north of Charlotte. It's actually in the next county over, now the next town over, Concord, North Carolina, which is in Cabarrus County. But the Charlotte Motor Speedway is here. The NASCAR Hall of Fame is right here to our left. So, if you're in town, come by and check out the NASCAR Hall of Fame right here in Charlotte, North Carolina. Check out the crosswalk here beside the Hall of Fame. It's the checkerboard for the checkered flag, the finish line. I don't know if they're still doing it or not, but they used to set up an ice skating ring at the back side of this in the wintertime around Christmas. Somebody over there is receiving an exotic car. Looks like a Ferrari or a Lamborghini getting pulled off that truck over there. I can't tell. But he's taking pictures of it, so it must be his. Here's the condition it was when it got delivered to him. Yeah, it's a Lamborghini. Backside of the Hall of Fame, right here. All right, one more place I want to show you. Here we are. Let's check this out. All right, guys, I'm at another point of interest here in Charlotte. Check this guy out behind me here. So, no, that is not Paul Revere. Let me show you who it is. Like I said, guys, this guy here behind me is not Paul Revere. So Mecklenburg County claims to be the first area of the residents of Mecklenburg to declare independence from England. So the first of the colonies of this particular area, Mecklenburg County, declared independence from England May 20th, 1775, a full year before the Declaration of Independence was actually written and voted on by all of the colonies. And this guy here is called Captain Jack. He was a herald of liberty. But May 20th is called Meckdeck Day here in Mecklenburg County, the day that we declared independence from England. Sorry about the wind, guys. So let me turn around here and you can see the plaques that are here in relation to Meckdeck. So, Captain Jack. Captain James Jack, a Charlotte militia captain and tavern owner, risked his life to ride to Philadelphia in June of 1775 to deliver the documents of the Continental Congress that expressed Charlotte's call for liberty. Here is the Declaration. Whereas the American colonies are declared to be in a state of actual rebellion, we concede that all laws and commissions confirmed by and derived by the authority of the King or Parliament are annulled. Mecklenburg resolves this May 31st, 1775. That was published in the North Carolina Gazette on June 16th, 1775. And then as the American Revolution began in May of 1775, citizens here resolved that the authority of the King and or Parliament are annulled more than a year before the 1776 Declaration of Independence. Local tradition holds that 27 men signed the Mecklenburg Declaration of Independence on May 20th, 1775. This date is included in the North Carolina state flag. Pretty cool stuff. Guys, across the way there, I'll zoom in. That is St. Mary's Chapel. It's a small little chapel here. Well, there are a group of artists, you see right there? They are painting and I guess coloring with the right crayons, whatever you call it, pastel markers, that chapel. Pretty cool stuff. Anyhow, that's a little bit more history here in Charlotte. So we'll walk away from Captain Jack, go back to the bike here, and I think I'm gonna head to the house. So, things Charlotte are famous for: industry, commerce, transportation, and they're looking toward the future. That's what Charlotte has in the center city, those 4 statues I showed you on the bike a while ago. We were the first, they claim to be the first area, Mecklenburg, Charlotte, that declared independence from England in 1775, May of 1775. Captain Jack rode to Philadelphia to deliver that to the Continental Congress to say, we resolve, we want to break away from the King. Mecklenburg County claims to be the first in the nation to ever have done that with Meckdeck, and that's why Captain Jack's statue is right behind me here. And we're famous for NASCAR. Way before the Panthers got here, we didn't have football in this area. We watched, well, we did, but we didn't have a team. When I was growing up, you were either a Cowboys fan or a Redskins fan. My brother was a Cowboys fan, so I became a Redskins fan. And until the Panthers came along, Redskins were my team. And they still are to a great extent. Now they're called the Washington football team. But the Redskins were my team growing up. Now it's the Carolina Panthers, so we're famous for the Carolina Panthers. Famous for NASCAR. History. Early gold rush. 1739 that led to the gold rush here in North Carolina, the first major gold rush in the nation. We actually had a mint here where they minted coins for a period of time. We have a mint museum here in Charlotte that talks about that, and that's what brought the commerce here. We're still a major banking center to this day. Transportation. This was a trade route for the Native Americans and settlers in the United States. And so trade became a big part of Charlotte, brought commerce here, banking, trade, transportation through those things. And then industry followed, obviously, because of the transportation coming through here, the rail line through here, industries built up around this area. So, and MECDEC. So, little history you may not have known about, because MECDEC is not well known, but it is celebrated here in Mecklenburg County every year. All right, guys, let's head to the house. Thanks for following along. I'll talk to you later. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed the brief visit through Charlotte, talking about the history of the town of my birth. I was raised in Wilmington, but I was born here in Charlotte and lived my adult life within 25, 30 miles of the spot we're at right now. So I'm gonna head back to the house. I'll let the video run for a little bit. I really appreciate you guys riding along with me today. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you like this kind of content, click the subscribe button, like and share this video with somebody, and hit that notification bell so you're aware of whenever I put up more content. Come back. I'm not sure what I'm going to do next week. Robert Simmons is putting together a preloader worldwide ride next Saturday, and I'm contemplating riding down to Atlanta and actually participating in the ride directly, or I may do a ride myself and video it. So if you're in the Charlotte area and you'd like to ride next week in the worldwide preloader ride that Robert Simmons is putting on, leave me a comment here so I can figure out if there's enough interest in a local ride, and we'll do a ride here in the Charlotte area. I'll put together a nice ride for that day. If not, I'm probably going to go down to ride with Robert Simmons and Wood Jr. on that day. I'd also thought about doing my in-state Iron Butt next weekend, but I think I'm gonna hold on to that for later on. And then the next big thing I've got planned beyond that is I'm headed to Big Bend, Texas, the end of this next month. Less than a month now, I'll be in Texas, and I'm gonna put together, hopefully, an awesome documentary video of that trip. I've got 3 friends that are riding with me from here to Texas, so I'll document our ride out there, which will probably be mostly interstate for the first at least 2 days. Probably not that exciting. Now, on the 3rd day, we'll get into some back areas of Texas. I got planned to go to a couple of places that these guys have never been, that I think is pretty cool. And then we're going to meet up with a group of people in Terlingua. We're actually staying, I think, in Study Butte, which is right away, a few miles from Terlingua, but it's right at the entrance to Big Bend National Park. And we're going to spend, I think it's 3 nights there, right outside of Big Bend. Had a couple of days to go inside and explore the park, and I'll share that with you. And then we're headed over to Fort Davis for a few days, and the McDonald Observatory is over there. The historic Fort Davis Monument is there, and a few other things that I want to share with you when I go there and show you the area. I've been to that area before, but I wasn't doing YouTube then, so it's a cool area. I enjoy being there, so I want to share that with you guys. Guys, bonus footage. I stopped here at the Indian dealership trying to see if they have one of those pursuits, but I don't see one in here. But let's check out the store. When Indian first came back, this was a national store, and now it's just owned locally here. But let's check out the dealership. I think I see one of those pursuits over there. It's like it's already been sold. It's a pretty blue color. I stopped by here on the way home to see if they had any pursuits in. They do not. A couple coming this week are already sold. So I talked to the general manager. He's going to hook me up with a guy named Steve here. And when they get a pursuit in, I'm going to come over and check it out and do a little review of it for you. But we'll see when that happens. Anyhow, a little bonus footage here from the Indian dealership. If you're looking for an Indian, this is a great dealership to come to. Like I said, it was the corporate store back when Indian first came back in production. And now it's independently owned by a guy named Tim here locally. Plus, if you've got an Indian and you want some performance work done on it, Lloyd's Speedworks is right here in this store. So this is where people bring their bikes, their Indian bikes, to get performance upgrades. And they do that for people all over the world. Come here to Lowell, North Carolina, to have that done. So my friends that ride Indians, come check them out. All right, guys, thanks for riding along. I'm going to head back to the house, and I'll catch you on the next video. Hey guys, Mr. Brown here. I was talking to Jeff's son. What's your son's name?
MT.
MT.
Yeah.
And MT is looking to trade possibly his street glide in for this. I'll show you this bike in a minute. Was it Victory Vegas?
Yeah, Victory Vegas.
Right there behind me. Looking to trade that bike. And Jeff, right?
Jeff.
Jeff come walking up to me and said, man, don't you have a YouTube channel? He recognized my voice. Imagine that. And knew who I was, which is pretty cool. So these guys are subscribers to my channel and also Wood Jr.'s channel. And so here's MT. He's looking to get probably at Victory Vegas, and we'll see how that goes. But they're out here checking on the bike, and just ran into him. So we just sitting here talking and just carrying on. So
having a good time.
To meet you, man. Good to meet you too, MT.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
All
right. All right, guys, that's pretty cool. I stopped here at the local Indian dealership just to check out if they had any pursuits. And as I was leaving, I started talking to a young man who was checking out at Victory Vegas. And I started running my mouth. And his father came over and said, man, don't you have a YouTube channel? I said, yeah, I do. He said, yeah, man, you did that ride with, I said, Wood Jr. He said, that's right. He said, you guys did that IBA thing. And so we just struck up a conversation. So that was pretty cool. I don't know that I've ever been recognized out, except for some people locally that know that I have a YouTube channel. But by a complete stranger that I've never met before recognized me from a YouTube channel. And the reason he recognized me wasn't my appearance, which is obviously I've got a unique appearance because I'm so fat and so big, but it was my voice. And I've been told that before, even when I was working. People would know that I was in the building or I was somewhere close by because they would hear me before they saw me. And so it was pretty cool. He recognized me and knew I had a YouTube channel because of my voice. Anyhow, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. I had a blast making it. And like I told you when I started out this morning, you don't always have to have a plan for your video to come together. It was fun riding around Charlotte and reminiscing some of the things that I know about Charlotte and some things I've done in Charlotte. It was cool seeing the folks at Starbucks that I used to go to all the time. Miss Sarah, shout out to Miss Sarah, Starbucks at Duke Energy. She remembered me from my time in Charlotte and coming there so frequently. And then it was cool to meet Jeff and MT right here at the Indian dealership by my house. So guys, until next time, I hope all is well with you. Ride safe, fellow riders, and I'll catch you on the next ride.